Hi, my name is Ricky Keller, and I'm going to do a quick screencast of Milestone 1 for my game Overclock. So let's get this started here. I think this is close to death, so it might be a little slow to start up, but there we go. Again, this is Milestone 1. I didn't make any major changes. Oh, you know what? It's hard to see the background on that. Not that I'm really tied to it, but I just noticed that it was a little difficult to see all the whatever there. But I haven't made any changes to the main menu or the credits, so I'm just going to go straight into start game. I think I did. Okay. That was a little noisy. Turn this down a little bit. Oh, that's up. So major parts of this milestone were threefold. The biggest thing was making enemies attack, so that they can attack now and destroy character units. I think I might have them. I played with the numbers a little bit. I think I might be a little bit too strong, and we'll see here in just a minute. So let's demo that real quick. So there's one over there. This is my other hand here. Another one of my pieces for this milestone was to create the blocker unit, which I'll put out there. They don't attack, but they have a lot higher health than the gunners, and they're meant to act as sort of a walnut character if you were to compare that to Plants vs. Zombies. Well, let's go ahead and demo this now. Actually, I want to back out because it's getting a little hectic. So as you can see, the enemies can attack, and the gunner will go down a lot quicker than the blocker did, just by comparison. Put blocker there so you can see that they indeed take a longer time to be killed. And there's no animations now, but you can tell by the noise, hopefully, that each time they're attacking, they do a certain amount of damage that I keep playing with, so I'm not sure what it's set to now. But that's basically that. Back out again real quick. This will. There we go. Need to make these buttons a little bit bigger for this tablet. And again. And the third thing I worked on was creating an ice power converter. So I modified this. Do I keep missing? I do. I modified one of the power converters, the one that's shaped as an X. So it would modify, if it were placed here, it would modify this one, this one, this one, and this one. But none of the other tiles around would be affected. That's the direction it still operates in, but now it allows the gunner to shoot ice bullets. You can see they're blue now instead of, if I take it away, they're just gray. But if I make them blue, then enemies freeze for it. You can see the two in comparison. One is moving faster than the other, and now we'll get hit. Yep, now they're moving at the same speed. Let's make him shoot a little bit faster, see if we can keep him from being destroyed. So let's go ahead and see if we can find another good scenario. So we'll put it there, put them there. Again, they're shooting blue. This can be combined with the heavy power converter, or the larger damage, so where it's the same amount of triple the damage, but it also applies the slowing behavior to the enemies. So that should demo the three items I hope to showcase during this screencast. I'll get into the code next. A few other things that I got feedback on for my prototype build number 2 were movement restriction, which I'm still working out a good way to do that. I have a few good suggestions on that. I haven't done anything for this milestone. I'm trying to work it into a future milestone of some sort. And I need to work on proper enemy spawn scripting, which I've not worked into a milestone yet either, so I want to figure out a best way to fit that in with my current schedule. That way we can get a good definition of kind of how they move, because right now they just come at a certain rate. They're not really variable or scriptable at all. It just kind of comes, and I need to sort out a way to make that a bit different or customizable to have a better flow to the level. And then, as you can see, you could have some of your enemies be destroyed, or sorry, your hero characters be destroyed, but it wasn't so much a win or lose condition, so that still needs to be implemented as well. Okay, let's get into the code a little bit. So here we are looking at the code, and something I wanted to point out as I was reviewing that last portion was I have a bug already, which is when the ice power converter died, the gunners still had the blue bullets, so they were still affected by a recently deceased power converter, which is whoopsie. So maybe when we're going through this, I'll realize what I think I understand what I did wrong. Maybe I'll find a spot to sort it out when I did that. But for now, let's go over the three main things that I updated for this milestone, which was the, first of all, we'll go over the ice power converter. So this is the gunner script. This is for the gunner character. It it looks at what power converters are affecting it at the moment. That way it can react in real time when you're dragging it around. Usually all that works well. I just don't think I updated a certain scenario for the death, so it is probably still taking up that power converter slot. But so what it does is briefly looks through the power list, which is a list of where they're all located, and determines what sort of bullets to fire. If it doesn't have any, it fires a simple bullet. Sometimes it'll fire a sniper bullet, or it can fire two types of heavy ice bullets. So if it has the power and the cross power, which is the sniper, and the ice, which is now still called the X power sniper, which is the X position, which I need to change because it won't make sense to someone who isn't me. The ice bullet can be affected in two different ways. So there's two different ice bullets for that reason, and those are just kind of handled up here in this method. Now, when the enemy is hit by them, it's their job to react in a way that makes sense. So here's where sounds are played, and this is the section here where if they have an ice bullet hit them, or they collide with one, their attack speed slows, their initial attack speed, because the quicker enemies have quicker attack speed. So whatever it is, it just cuts it in half. It's multiplying by 2 to say that it waits twice as long before it attacks. So that's what the multiply 2 is about. And then this is just a slowness timer, saying how long it will be slow, and that's modifiable up at the top here, and I think that's also modifiable more properly within the prefab itself in Unity. Then it's calling move forward here. Move forward will serve as a nice segue into the next topic, which is down here, which is enemy attacking. So the enemies stop moving and just attack when they are colliding with heroes, and at some points, so if a hero is placed behind them, and let me see if I can describe this well. So if it starts attacking a gunner, let's say, and I place a blocker on the space in front of that, so while it's colliding with that blocker and the gunner, it'll choose the rightmost hero character to attack first, to direct its attacks at. So that one will receive damage. And that's why you could potentially be touching more heroes than one at a time. I'll try to wrap this up quickly because I feel like I'm going to go on for a long time if I don't. And it determines whether or not it has a slow timer displaying a slow velocity, or if it's not slowed at the moment and pushes forward with a normal velocity. More of the on trigger enter, so it determines whether it's touching a hero, and that's here. If it's touching a hero, then it has an attack timer as well, and keeps track of whether it saw the hero or killed the hero. If it did, it checks again to see if it's touching any more. Otherwise, it's going to keep moving forward, and some of that's handled here in the update method. The last thing that I want to go over is the blocker character, and this is going to be really easy. So gunner script inherits from character script, and so does the blocker. As you can see, blocker is very, very small, which is good, which means I'm reusing a lot. So the character script does a lot, and this is the same script that the power converters and all the movable pieces inherit from, so that they all can have the same sort of behaviors. But getting away from that for now, blocker script is very solid. It just sets the type, and then its health is set actually here in its prefab. So you can see the health is here, and this is modifiable easily, as we can do this in the Unity engine to give you a comparison. Right now the gunner's at 5 health, and it has a few other things which blocker may have in the future, like such as animations or just different sounds that I might make. Sorry, so this is 35, so quite a bit larger. Still playing with the numbers to see if that's a good number for it. The enemy's attack power 1 at a speed of 1 hit per second. So in 5 seconds, if not stopped, the gunner will go down from 5 hits from a basic enemy. So hopefully that gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on, and I look forward to feedback and working on the next milestone. Thanks very much.